So today I want to take you on a little journey of self-discovery and give you insight into how to be more self-aware so that you can understand kind of where you need to make changes in your life to begin living your best life. Self-awareness is the first and most important pillar in the 12 pillars of happiness. The roadmap I created during my own transformational journey. I had to create a roadmap because back then sat-nav wasn't available. It didn't exist. Anyway, I digress slightly. So, to begin this journey, I want you to imagine yourself sitting in front of a stage in a school hall. Apart from some scenery, a large pile of leaves, and a paint pot at the back, the stage is empty. You got that? The lights go down in the hall and a spotlight comes up on the back of the stage. Suddenly, a badger dressed as an old man emerges from the pile of leaves, stretches and then brushes the leaves off himself, and he walks forward. And as he does so, he kicks the paint pot, which rolls up to the front of the stage, down the steps and into the auditorium. And as you can imagine, the whole place falls apart in laughter. The thing was, he was only supposed to step into the paint pot. Now, this badger is actually a young girl hidden behind the mask of that old man. I want you to fast forward now to the second half of Toad of Toad Hall. The show was about 3/4 of the way through, and the young girl's sister and mum sat in the audience. The mum turned to the sister and said, "I thought our Deborah was supposed to be in this. That's why I've come, and I haven't seen her yet." She was quite angry. The sister looked at her mum and said, "She's been there from the beginning. Deborah is the badger." That's how, as that young girl, I spent most of my life, hiding behind the masks of all the characters I played throughout the years. Hidden in plain sight. And I know there are many people who hide behind a mask because they can't deal with being the person they believe they are. Does this resonate with anyone out there? I also want to share with you that for most of my life, I allowed myself to be controlled and bullied right from the age of 8 years old. Starting with the school bully and a teacher who actually tied my hands behind my back so that I wouldn't talk with my hands. And as you can see, she failed miserably as I talk with my hands all of the time. How many of you do the same? It's just a characteristic of mine. The bullying then extended to most of the men in my life as I grew older. Mental and emotional abuse was at the forefront. I call this a hidden disease, and I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Language such as, "You're useless," "You won't amount to much," "Who do you think you are?" "Get down off your pedestal." I didn't even know I was stood on a pedestal most of the time. These words and the bullying transformed my life into a life of victimhood mentality, which evolved into clinical depression. Yippee! They were right. I was useless. It was a fact. I had a dysfunctional brain. These are what spiraled me down the proverbial rabbit hole. And 3 times I got to the very bottom of that rabbit hole and tried to take my own life. Tablets, the water, and my car became my friends, though some might say they were my enemies, my instigators. But after the third suicide failure, my life took a different direction due to what I call my oh shit moment. I was so angry when I failed the third time because I hadn't removed that toxicity from my son's life. You see, I believe that I was the toxic person in my son's life, and he would be better off without me in it. 2 weeks after I survived that third attempt, I woke up at 2 a.m. in the morning and I felt something in my hand. I looked down and it was an empty wine bottle, which was pretty scary at the time because I didn't drink very often. I looked down at myself, totally dishevelled. My mother instincts kicked in and I thought, oh shit, my little boy is asleep next door, and at any point throughout the night he could have walked in on me in this state. So I sat up, swung my legs round to the side of the bed to get myself all sorted out, and I was stopped in my tracks. I can't explain what happened next. I don't know whether it was a vision, an apparition, a dream, but I knew it couldn't be a dream because I was wide awake. But in that split second, my little boy's face was here, right here in front of me. He wasn't physically there, but I could see his facial features. I could see the look on his face. I could see the tears streaming down that little boy's face. And those tears made me realise that my little boy needed his mummy. That oh shit moment changed my life. Because you see, you and I are not our past. My suicide failures do not define me, and your past does not define you. So I went on a journey of self-discovery and created the impossible. I obtained a first-class honours degree, raised £3,500 for a children's disability charity by completing a 12-day Inca Trail trek, despite damaging my leg on the first day, which, yes, resulted in a complete hip replacement a year later. But little did I know back then how the theatre, the wilderness, and holistic heart-centric healing would play such a huge part in my own transformation and that of those whom I guide and inspire to transform their own lives today. So from having the starring role in my own Nightmare on Elm Street to living through so many pantomimes, I now stand centre stage in the mental health and wilderness arenas, playing a more vital role, a more resilient role, and the co-director in others' transformations, so that they too can be living their own best life. Because you see, every day you step out onto your own life stage. And every day is a scene in your life. Every person in your life is a character in your life. You are your own director. You can go stage right, you can go stage left. And yes, it is okay to fall off the stage, because you know what? The power is in getting back up. Because at any time, you can rewrite your life script. So, if you are living your own Nightmare on Elm Street and looking to rewrite your life script to star in your own blockbuster, your stage awaits. You can be the director and producer for your transformed life. But who am I to say these things? Yes, I've gone through those life experiences. I'm Debbie Debonaire. I'm a mental health professional, a stress and anxiety detox guide, wilderness therapist, breath worker, heart-centric healer, and the author of Alive to Thrive. So you might be asking yourself, where does self-awareness come in all of this? Well, my oh shit moment woke me up to being more aware of myself and how I had reacted to the environment around me, the people around me, the words they spoke, and what they all did to my thoughts and emotions. But before I delve into self-awareness, I just want to share this interesting insight. According to Dr. Tasha Eurich, who is an organizational psychologist and author of Insight, The Surprising Truth About How Others See Us, How We See Ourselves, and Why the Answers Matter More Than We Think. Self-awareness is one of the most important skills to work on, particularly for those in leadership positions, CEOs, entrepreneurs. But there's a snag. Eurich and her team of researchers discovered that while 95% of people claim to be self-aware, the research shows that only 10 to 15% of people actually fit the criteria of self-awareness. And contrary to what you might assume, CEOs and top-tier leaderships and entrepreneurs are less likely to be in that top percent. And this is partly because people in executive positions often find it hard to gather continuous and honest feedback. And feedback is critical to developing genuine awareness, self-awareness. So, embarking on the journey of self-discovery, using self-awareness at the helm, will empower you to increase your own self-awareness by shedding light on the masks you've been hiding behind and comprehending the profound impact on your life. As you courageously embrace your vulnerability and authenticity, the realization that shedding these masks can lead to a more genuine and fulfilling life will actually dawn upon you. And with this newfound awareness, you'd be equipped to recognize and break free from any shackles of victimhood, allowing you to seize control of your narrative and your decisions. You can start on your path of self-awareness by becoming more aware of your thoughts and feelings, allowing you to accept them and give yourself permission to sit with them, feel your feelings and emotions, and think your thoughts. Because there are no positive or negative thoughts or feelings. They're just thoughts and feelings. They either drain you or they revitalize you. So here's a technique that I'd like to share with you that will help you with your self-awareness as you go through your day-to-day life. Stop what you're doing for a few minutes 3 times a day. Take note of what you were doing just before you stopped. Write down your thoughts and your feelings that are present at that time in a notebook. Don't overthink it, just whatever's there at that moment. And do this for a week or 2. And then look back at what you've written. See if there are any patterns to your days, and try and do it at the same time each day, remembering to put the date the day and the time at the top of the page, and use a new page for every day. This is a great way to become more self-aware, as it shows how you react to thoughts, feelings, things, people, events, and your environment. This newfound self-awareness supports you and gives you the courage to make the necessary changes to regain that control of your out of control emotions and stop those repeating life patterns that do not serve you anymore. Then your own oh shit moment will transform into a pivotal turning point, making your unwavering commitment to change. You'll showcase your resilience and strengthen through triumph over physical and mental challenges. The analogy of life as a stage will serve as a powerful metaphor, empowering you to be fully booked in life. Take centre stage, make proactive choices, and rewrite your life script. Embracing the role of the director and producer of your own life. You'll be prompted to engage in self-reflection, fostering a proactive approach to your personal growth. The invitation to take charge of your life and embrace transformation resonates with the promise of hope and endless possibilities, creating a path towards a brighter and more fulfilling future. One where you'll be fully booked for life change in all areas of your life. So start today. Foster more self-awareness and enjoy your journey of deeper self-discovery. Ask yourself this question: what do I need and want to improve my mental health and well-being? Answering this question will actually open the doors to your self-awareness pathway. And share your answers to this question in the comments if you feel you'd like to do that. Because you never know, someone else might have the same needs and wants. You're not alone. We are not alone. I do have some free gifts for you available in the description. The first one is Be Unstoppable, Stress and Anxiety Detox. And I have 6 spaces for a free heart-to-heart with me, where I will share 3 ways to become the producer and director of your own life script. Thank you so much for being with me now. And I just want to leave you with this. Choose life, choose freedom, but most of all, choose you.